In today's video, we are going to be covering 43 Christmas ornament ideas, so get ready to be inspired and let's get started. But we're going to take the stocking and cut it apart. The back is like a flannel piece, or like a, I don't know if it's flannel, but fleece maybe. And then the front is this burlappy gingham type material. So I'm just going to cut all the parts off, and then I'm going to tear these into strips, and then we're going to use the strips throughout the video for certain projects. I think I used 2 big stockings and 1 small stocking for this video. So once I have my pieces, I just fold those in half to get smaller pieces. I cut them, and now I'm just grouping them into a bundle. So we're going to take these and tie it off at the top like a tassel. This would make a super cute tassel garland if you wanted to make a tassel garland, or you could turn these angels into a garland, and that would be super cute too. So we're just going to take some twine, tie it off here at the top, and then at the end we're going to tie that together to make it the hanger. I took this wicker ball, or like a twine ball that you can get in the crafting section at Dollar Tree, and we're just going to glue that to the top for the head. And then I cut out a boomerang shape, and I'm going to glue that to the back of our bundle. Those are going to be our wings. And then here it is styled for you guys. This one's my favorite. Let me know what you guys think. I got these at Hobby Lobby in a big bundle, and they have totally been worth it. I've used them pretty much all Christmas crafting season, so they are a really great deal, that bundle. So we're just going to use the back this time, and it's more of a felt material, but we're going to glue it onto the front of our wood round. I just thought that this would make a little bit more stability for the angel we're making here. Then I just cut random pieces. These were just like kind of leftover pieces, scraps I guess you would say, and I just glued those on as the wings, and then we're just taking our pieces and we're gluing them down. So the first few pieces I do glue like all the way down onto the wood round just to kind of give it a little background, and then I just start gluing them only at the tops to give it the more shabby feel. And then you can glue as many or as little of these on as you want to. I did the stripes and the solids just to have a little contrast. I took another one of those wicker balls, glued it at the top, used the red ribbon around the top to use it as a hanger, and then here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. This was in my stash, but basically every craft store sells styrofoam balls. You can get them in any size that you would like to make this project with. I'm using the rule of force, I guess, here as to wrap it around. This is also how I cut pizza, so if you were ever wondering, but we're going to go like in the middle, and then we're going to go in the middle again. That gives us kind of 4 sections, which is what I'm saying, like the rule of force. And then once I have that glued around, then I'm going to go again into the force where there are extra spaces. So just like I would cut a circle for pizza, I do that the same way until I get it all wrapped around. If you have any spare spots, you can fill them in with any loose pieces of the stocking that you have. I took another piece, glued it to the top for the hanger, and then I'm literally using all the scraps to make this little bow, tying it around with one of the pieces as well, like I always like to do. And then we're going to glue that up at the top by our hanger just to give it a cute little shabby bow on our bow. And then here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. Going to use a wooden ornament from Dollar Tree's Crafter Square area, and we're going to trace it around the felt part of the back of the stocking. Now if you want to make a bigger one, you can definitely use a bigger star cutout. I'm going to use some hot glue here, and I'm going to glue around all of the star pieces, and leaving one little tiny piece open at the bottom so I can put some stuffing in it. Now, something I've learned after making some of these like glued ornaments is that you really need to like go for a bigger size than you're expecting your project to be, because you get a minimal amount of space inside when you go to stuff it. This one worked out okay, but I've made some projects in the past that ended up being too small because I didn't cut a big enough pattern. So then I'm just going to put some hot glue in the middle there after I stuff it, and I'm just using another piece of our stocking to be the hanger on the top, and then I made another little shabby bow. The really great thing about all these projects today, they were all made from Dollar Tree, and they were basically all made from the stocking. But here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. Now these come in a pack of 2 for $1.25, so they're a really good deal if you're wanting to make ornaments or maybe a banner out of them. But we're just going to add some stuffing and then take some picks that I got from Dollar Tree, and we're going to add them to the top of our stocking. So this is really easy. We're just going to add some hot glue into the stuffing, and then after I get the picks in and I like how they look, I set my bird on top, because if you've been watching me for a little bit, you know I love birds and birds in my Christmas trees, and so I had to put one in the stocking today because it's adorable. Anyway, we're going to glue that in, and that is all. These are customizable too, so like if you were wanting to put somebody's name on the front, you could use stickers, or you could use your Cricut and just add that vinyl to the front to have a personalized name or a saying, season's greetings, or Merry Christmas or something on the top of that. You could also put goodies in here if you wanted to give it as a gift. I don't know, these are adorable. I just really love the print on them, and they just say vintage and rustic to me, so that's my vibe. This whole video was really my vibe, how I like to decorate. And if I had to like sum myself up in a video, this would be it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you think about this project. We're just going to take a cinnamon stick. We're going to take some red chalk paint, red acrylic paint will work fine too. Paint the top for his Santa hat, and then I took a Sharpie and I created some little eyes, just some little dots, nothing fancy. And then I'm going to take some white puff paint. I get mine at Hobby Lobby. You can, I think, buy this at Walmart as well, and on Amazon, and I will link down in my description box. And then you're just going to cover the top, like the part of the top of the Santa hat, and then you're going to kind of go around his little eyes to create a face shape, and then you're going to go down the length of the cinnamon stick. Now you're not going to cover the whole cinnamon stick because we're making a beard here, and then you're just going to add some twine at the top for a hanger, and then here it is styled in some decor.
But the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree.
This was really easy to make. I just took some twine. This came from the Dollar Tree, and I wrapped it around my hand to give it kind of like a loop. Then I'm going to take a wooden bead. I got mine from Amazon, and I will link those down in the description box. I'm just going to put some hot glue on one end and glue it to like the underside of the twine. Then I'm going to wrap it around so that the bead ends up being the angel's head. And then I just take another piece of twine and I'm going to wrap that around the bead and tie it off to make the head part. You're just going to add some more glue up at the top underneath the twine so that the hair attaches a little bit better to the bead. That's optional. If you had enough hot glue on there to begin with, then you wouldn't need to do that step. So once I get that tied off, and then I'm going to take some pip berries. Mine came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap them into angel wing type shape. You can use anything here. Ribbon would be cute too if you don't have any of the pip berries. And anything that you can make into some angel wings. I just used the pit berries to kind of go around each other to form the wings, and then I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue the angel to the middle of the pit berries, and that is it for this project. It's super simple, but it is so cute, and I just added a little bit of a twine hanger to the back to hang it on the tree, and here it is, styled in some decor.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way, but as long as you're around, everything will be okay, 'cause all I want...
Hi friends! Are you enjoying today's video? I hope so. I had a lot of fun making these, and if you're enjoying it as much as I did, I hope you'll go down and hit the like button so my video can be seen by other people. Mitten template from some cardboard, and then I'm going to trace it around on my burlap. Now, depending on how large your burlap is, you could make really large ones of these if you wanted, but these were supposed to be ornaments, so my burlap actually did come from the Dollar Tree, but I'll link some burlap options down in the description box. So I took some red twine that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to sew around the two pieces of the shape. Now, because these are kind of frayed on the edges, you just have to make sure that you go in a little bit, that way it doesn't totally come out. If you don't want to do this sewing piece, you could also glue these two together. Then I'm using some hot glue, and I'm going to add some ribbon to the top to give it kind of the mitten look, like we had a cinched up part by our wrist. Then I took some greenery, and I'm just going to glue that to the middle, and this little rusty bell that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, I'm going to glue that into the middle as well. Add some twine to the back for a hanger, and then here it is, styled in some decor.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself.
I cut mine out of an old Amazon Prime box. Did you guys order on Prime Day? Let me know if you took advantage of that. I definitely did. I was at a conference for school, so I ordered a lot of school things, but I did get a couple craft supplies for this channel as well. Let me know what you ordered down in the comments below. So I had to tape my box together a little bit, and then I just poked a hole in the top for the hanger. I did that first because as we start wrapping our twine around, we're going to want to cover all of those spaces, and so we want to make sure we have a hanger before we start. So this is just up to your preference, really. I wrapped a certain amount, like just, I kind of eyeballed it. I didn't really keep track of how many times I went around. I just added some hot glue to my cardboard, and then I would wrap around and make sure that my twine went into the glue. Then I would go a different direction and wrap my twine that way until it was getting a little bit too bulky. So the middle of this is going to be kind of bulky, but the rest of it will be, it just, as you go around, it gets bulkier, I guess it will say. This twine is really thin. It came from the Dollar Tree, so depending on the kind of twine, if you get it from Walmart or somewhere like that, it might be a little bit thicker. So once I get that all wrapped around, and I didn't have any rhyme or reason to how I put it on there because this was supposed to be rustic. If you wanted certain like design, then you got to map that out before you do it. Then I took some ribbon that I also got at the Dollar Tree, made one of those awareness bows, glued it to the top, added a button, and here it is, styled in some decor.
But the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under.
This is really easy. I just picked up some pine cones at a garage sale. I know that the Dollar Tree sometimes sells really large pine cones, or a lot of times at Hobby Lobby they'll have pine cones as well, or you can also seem to find these a lot at garage sales or thrift stores, so now is the time to find them if you like to craft with them. I tied some twine up at the top just to make it as my holder, made another awareness bow, glued that in front of my holder, and then I'm going to add a ribbon. My ribbon did come from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to clip off the edges to make a dovetail, and then I took one of these little berries and I'm going to glue that little berry into the middle of my bow, and here it is, styled in some decor.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. everything will be okay.
I left the hoops together. You could also take them apart and only use one piece. You could even use the inside of the hoop, and that way you don't have the metal part showing. I was okay with the metal part showing, but if you don't want that to show, you can definitely do the inside ring and you won't have that piece. Once I had it all wrapped with my twine, then I just took this greenery pick from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on to where the metal piece was. So I just took this pick, had several pieces to it. I took it all apart, glued the greenery up there, and then I'm going to play around a little bit with the berries just so that I can get them into the greenery the way that I like them. So once I get those glued on to the greenery piece, then I decide that this hoop needs a bow. Since it's supposed to be a wreath, I thought it needed a little bow. So I took some ribbon and I made a little shoelace bow, tied it in the middle with some twine, and then I'm just going to go ahead and glue that into the middle. I'm going to take another one of those berries, glue that into the middle of my bow, and then here it is styled in some decor.
'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment.
I'm going to go ahead and take my Antique Waverly wax, and I'm going to go ahead and cover just the round circle. I left the beads a unfinished wood color because we're going to paint them. So I'm going to take some red chalk paint and some white chalk paint, and I'm going to cover each of the beads with one of those colors, and then I go ahead and go over it with my Antique Waverly wax for some distressed look. Then I took my gift bag, I fussy cut out the little penguin, and then I'm using my Mod Podge, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that to the front. And then I'm just going to add some Mod Podge onto the front of him so that he gets a good hold, and then here he is styled. You guys let me know what you think about him. I think he is super cute. But I'm just going to take these wood ornaments from Hobby Lobby and I'm going to cover them with the Antique Waverly wax and our cashew chalk paint. We're blending again here, so if you want a more chippy brush look, or a more distressed look I should say, go ahead and use your chippy brush here. So I made a video several years ago doing these same ornaments with some window clings. It's a super popular video on my channel, so if you want to check it out, I'll make sure I have that video at the end of this video and down in my description box as well. But I'm going to go ahead and add the Mod Podge onto the ornament itself because this particular window cling is super big, and so it kind of falls over almost the entire ornament. It also goes over the little ornament topper here. So we're going to use our X-Acto knife and we're going to flip over the ornament and we're going to cut off any of the excess pieces on the back here first. Once I get all the excess pieces cut off from the ornament, then I'm going to flip it back over, use my X-Acto knife again, and I'm going to go over the scalloped part. That way the top of our ornament looks like an ornament hanger. Like I said, I made 4 of these. 2 were like this, 2 were just the ones that fit right onto the ornament, and I just Mod Podged them on there. Here they are styled. Let me know what you guys think of these. At the Dollar Tree, you get 2 for $1.25. I'm going to cover it with 2 coats of white folk art chalk paint, and then I'm going to take my chippy brush and I'm going to do 1 coat of the black chalk paint from folk art to give it a distressed look. I love how this spoon turned out. So then I'm going to use the end of my paintbrush. I like to make little beady eyes with the end of my paintbrushes. It's a super easy way to make a face. So if faces intimidate you, this is a super simple one that you can make. So we're going to just use our really thin paintbrush to paint on the nose, and then we'll go back to the tip of our paintbrush to create some little kohl pieces for its mouth. I love to create these kind of little cute faces, and they each have their own kind of look, and it just really depends on where you put your dots as how they end up looking. So then I'm going to take some fabric from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue one side. I do go ahead and put some hot glue at the top as well, and we're making a little hat if you haven't figured that out yet, but we're just going to use some twine and tie it off at the top. Now you could add some pom-poms here if you wanted to. I was going for a more rustic farmhouse look, so I'm just going to use twine, but really anything would look super cute. This is some leftover Dollar Tree fabric, but they do have some really cute Christmas fabric out right now. So I'm going to take a piece of twine and tie it around the top of the hat piece, and then I'm going to tie that also into a knot because that's going to be the piece that we hang on our tree for the Christmas ornament. I'm going to add some hot glue around the spoon just to keep my hat in place, and then here it is styled for you guys. I have to tell you, this is my favorite one of the day, and I just absolutely love how it turned out. Oh, I forgot the scarf. So you're just going to tie on a piece of fabric to make his little scarf, and here he is. You guys let me know what you think about this one. Little dice out now, and when I very first saw it, it just said snowman to me, so I covered it with some of my white folk art chalk paint, and I'm just going to glue all three pieces together. Then I'm going to take my chippy brush and I'm going to use my black paint, and I didn't put any more paint. This was just what was left over from our first project, and I'm going to dry brush over all of the pieces together. Once I have that done, then we're going to create a little face similar to the first one, and I just used the dot or the bottom part of my paintbrush, made the nose and the mouth, and then I painted on his little nose. And see, I told you guys they all look different. It's so cute. Anyway, I'm using some pit berries. This is the pit berry garland. I just cut off 2 little pieces to make his arms, and then we're going to go ahead and make him a little scarf. So we're just going to tie the scarf into the middle around where his arms were. It gives them a little bit more security as well. And then I did not give this guy a hat. I thought it would be cute just to hang in like this. What I did was I took a tack from one of those like nail kits at the Dollar Tree, and I just put the tack into the top of his head, wrapped some twine around it, and there you go for a super easy hanger. Here he is. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I had used these in a different project, and so I went ahead and glued. They were already glued together, but all you're going to do is take that middle piece out, flip them around, and you're going to glue them together. Then I'm going to cover this with some white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to make 3 of them. They're super easy to make, so we're just going to make our same little faces. These are a little bit smaller, so a couple of them I did give mouths, and then one of them I chose not to give a mouth, but that's totally up to you. If you wanted to use a Sharpie here, that would work as well, and then you could do like a squiggly line mouth. Those are super cute too. It's really up to you. Snowmen are so just fun that you can be totally creative with that. Then I just had some spare fabric, and I'm going to go ahead and tie that around each one of their necks, and I'm going to make each of the fabrics for their scarves a little bit different so that they are each different. I also took some ribbon, some buffalo check ribbon for one of them, and here they are styled. Let me know what you guys think about these cute little icicle snowmen. Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description box if you want to check them out. These already have holes in them. I honestly don't know what I was thinking when I put these together, but I painted 2 of them with the folk art white chalk paint, and then I glued the holes together thinking that I was going to cover them up with the scarf. But since this is an ornament, it would have made more sense for the hole to be facing the top. So if you recreate this one, definitely put the hole at the top. But I made it work, so no worries. But we're going to make our cute little face here again, and I went ahead and did the eyes and the nose first, or the eyes and the mouth first, and then I painted on his nose. And like I said, each one of these snowmen have a different face, so these are so fun, and you don't have to be an expert to make these cute snowman faces. So then I'm going to take some more fabric and I'm going to give him a scarf. And I did go ahead and put some little dots on his second round to give him some buttons as well, because I thought that would be super cute. I also glued the two painted ones down to the brown one because that's going to be a stand. So if you did not want this to be a ornament, you would not. You can also stand on its own and it would look super cute in a tiered tray or just in like a vignette or something. But we're going to make our hat similar to the one before. We're just using some twine and some fabric, tying it off, and then I did go ahead and use that same twine at the top for his hanger. And you're just going to hot glue his cute little hat to the front of the white one and then also to the back just to give it a little bit of a hold. He is absolutely adorable. You guys will have to let me know what you think about this one. Wood Slice Snowman. I picked up this whole package of wood slices for $5.99 at Hobby Lobby, and there's like a ton in there, so it's definitely a good bang for your buck. But I just covered the front of this one with some white paint, and all we're going to do is add our cute little snowman face. I also made a Santa out of some greeting cards on one of these same wood slices, so if you want to check that video out, I'll have that at the end for you to see and in my description box. But we're just using the end of our paintbrush again here and giving him a cute little face. This project is super easy. You could also make this one with kids. Most of these in today's video could be made with kids also, or grandkids. You're just going to add some ribbon to the back. You could also use some twine if you wanted to. I just had some leftover ribbon that I thought would be super cute, and I just added some hot glue here, and then here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. Little pattern of a snowman. My only thought here is that I wish it was a little bit bigger. So when you make a pattern, go ahead and make it twice as big as you think you want your ornament to be, because once I cut it out and glued it, it becomes really small. I really love how this turned out, and I definitely want to make another one just with a bigger pattern. So I went ahead and glued my twine already into the inside of the ornament. So I have one piece, and then I put the twine in, and I'm going to put the other piece on top, and then I'm going to start gluing around my snowman, and I'm just going to add some batting as we go around here. So once I got the batting in there, this just became smaller and smaller as I went around. So like I said, a bigger pattern definitely, but this is super easy. You just stuff it with some batting, and then that is it. It's super simple. Let me know what you guys think about this one. So the first one, we're going to start out with some craft paper that is like wrapping paper. This also came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to put some of my Elmer's glue down on my wood ornament, and I'm using my vinyl scraper, and I'm just making sure that it gets a good hold, and then I'm going to cut out any excess, and then I'm going to use my sanding block to get any of the leftover paper on there. It comes off super easy with the sanding block. And then I got these cute little gingerbread stickers at Hobby Lobby, and I think that they were about $2.50 for the pack, but they kind of reminded me of buttons, but they are sticky on the back. I am using some hot glue just to give them a little bit more hold, but I'm going to put about 4 on there, and they match the little polka dots of our ornament. And then here's the first one styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. just some wrapping paper I had on hand. I'm pretty sure this came from a garage sale, but I am totally into vintage Santa, so I really loved this one. But you could use any wrapping paper. The Dollar Tree has lots of good selections of wrapping paper, so if you want to check those out, you could use those as well. Walmart also had some 98-cent wrapping paper, which is less than the Dollar Tree. So I'm using my Elmer's glue stick again, and I'm just going to adhere my wrapping paper on here. I am going to go ahead and take some red paint, and we're going to cover that top part here at the end, but we're just using the scraper again to get a good hold. And since this wrapping paper is pretty thin, I didn't even bother to like cut around it. I'm just using the sanding block and I'm going all around. So it comes right off. You just have to be going in a downward motion so that you're not ripping it towards you, and it will come right off like you cut it with some scissors or an X-Acto knife. This is an awesome trick to use when you're going around an edge with this thin paper. So I'm just using folk art chalk paint here, and I'm covering the top little section, and then here it is styled for you guys. I really loved this one. I think this one might have been my favorite, but you guys know I love vintage Santa, so here he is styled for you guys. I got these mini gift bags at Walmart. They came in a pack of 3, so we're just going to go ahead and cut out the front section. I'm just cutting like right down the middle of the gift bag. We're going to want to open up this section of the gift bag so we can lay our wooden ornament on top of it and trace it around. If you don't open it up on these mini gift bags, it's not quite big enough. But we're going to go ahead and cut it out, and then we're going to glue it on to the front here. Super simple. We're just using a glue stick, and we're going to adhere it there. I also painted the top little topper of this one green to match the green trees. I really love how this one turned out, and I love gift bags. I have a whole video of where I use some Walmart gift bags, so if you want to check that video out, it'll be at the end screen and down in my description box. But here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. Couldn't do an ornament without fabric, but I picked this up at Hobby Lobby when it was 50% off, and it's like a baking theme for Christmas. I'm going to do the same general idea that I did for the wrapping paper, and I'm just using a pen here and tracing around. I didn't want to use a marker because I didn't want it to bleed through to the other side of the fabric because it is pretty thin. Then I'm just going to take some scissors and cut that out, and then I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is a total hack here, but you can use an Elmer's glue stick with fabric. It even says so on the glue stick. So we're just going to add our glue onto our ornament. I painted the topper of this one red to match the fabric, and here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this hack. Start out with some antique Waverly wax that we're just going to paint on and wipe off, and then I'm going to do my cute face. So I am making a gingerbread man here, and I'm just going to go ahead and start painting his eyes. Now if you are afraid to do any kind of faces, there are some really simple faces on Pinterest that you can look up and kind of copy. The fun thing about faces is they become unique because not every face looks the same. If you're somebody who's really, a pro at that, then your faces might end up actually looking similar to the ones that you constantly do, but they might not look the same as somebody else's, which is what I really love about painting on things and doing faces. But I just added some black circles, and then I used the end of my paintbrush to give a little bit of the white for his eyes, and then I'm using some red paint for his nose and back to the black paint for his mouth, and I just painted on just like a squiggly line here. And then you could use a Sharpie here too if you didn't want to use a paintbrush or you don't feel as confident with a paintbrush. A Sharpie or a paint marker would work great here. So then I'm going to take my red paint again, and I'm just going to go over some of his cheek area right by where his mouth is, and then to finish it off, which is the best part, I'm using some puff paint to go around to give him his icing. But here he is. Let me know what you think about this one. Add some greenery, and you can add any greenery that you like to yours. I like the frosted greenery look, and I think mine came from Dollar General. But all I'm going to do is use my wire cutters, and I'm going to cut off just individual leaves here. That way it's easier to glue onto my ornament. So this is frosted, meaning that it has some glitter on it, and it was really messy. Like once I finally got it all glued onto the ornament, I had to kind of blow it off a little bit. But you're just going to take some hot glue. This is like the most easiest thing, and glue it up at the top. I did go ahead and use almost the entire pick. This was like a leftover piece from another project too. So I just went ahead and used what I had left, and then I put the red berries on top, and then that is it. Super simple. You could add a bow here if you wanted to, but I was going for simplicity today, so I did not add a bow. But here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. And we're going to take our antique Waverly wax and cover our whole ornament, including the topper, and then we're going to take a paper towel and just wipe out any excess Waverly wax. Now, if you don't have the wax, you can always get folk art wax, or you can use brown paint added with water, and it works just as well as a stain. So I'm using these little star cutouts that came from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to add them up here at the top. It's going to be our reindeer's ears, and then we're going to add a very simple face here. Now, you could get more detailed if you wanted to, but I'm just using the end of my paintbrush to add two cute little black eyes. I go ahead and glue on a bell that I got from the Dollar Tree for his nose, and then we're going to add a very cute little green bow up at the top that is just tied as an awareness bow, and then here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. Kind of a vintage inspired, but I took this teal color, covered it on the entire ornament, and then I have these really cute little stencils that you can make for lots of different ornaments, and I got these from Amazon, so I will link those down in the description box, but they're super cute. I want to say that you get about 12 of them, and they are all different little things, and they're pretty detailed, so you can make a really cute set of ornaments with these, but we're just using some white folk art chalk paint and our stencil brush from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to go over the entire stencil with our white paint, and that is it. Super simple. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I had a whole video where I used Christmas cards to make Christmas decor, so if you want to check that out, it'll be down in my description box. But we're just going to lay the ornament on top of our card into the desired area that we want it. So I wanted to get a good amount of the stockings. I didn't really want any of the other parts of the card, so I just picked the section that I wanted, and I'm just going to go ahead, cut it out, use my trusty glue stick, and I'm going to put glue stick all over the back of it and glue it onto my ornament. So I did paint the topper of this one with my green folk art chalk paint, and then this one turned out pretty awesome. I really loved the look of this one. It's so simple and it's really easy to make. You can make a whole collection of these with matching cards, or and you can make them vintage by going over it with some antique Waverly wax or something like that. But here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. So we're just going to lay the vinyl on top of our ornament, and I went ahead and just kind of pre-cut out a size of it so I could have like a good working area. And then I went ahead and I poked it into the little pieces up at the top so we can see the whole hanger. Use my scraper to go around so I get a really good hold, and then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and go around and cut off any excess vinyl. So my X-Acto knife I think needs to be sharpened, or I need a new blade because it's a little bit harder to get through the vinyl, but you should be able to get through it pretty well, and you want to drag it towards you so you're not tearing any of it. Then I covered the top of it with some white folk art chalk paint. I got these snowflakes at Hobby Lobby. Using my glue stick again, I'm just going to glue it to the front of the ornament. It is purple, but it does dry clear, so just give it a little bit of time to dry, and then here it is styled. I really love how this one turned out. Let me know what you guys think. Going to do is trace out our ornament onto our vinyl. This vinyl came from Hobby Lobby. They have like a Christmas pack and you get all kinds of different plaids. I really like this plaid, and I've used these in a couple other videos that I did as well. I got all kinds of videos to share with you guys today, but if you want to see my vinyl video, I will link that down in my description box as well. But we're just going to use a scraper and our X-Acto knife, and this one's super easy because that is all we're going to do to it. I did go ahead and match the green in our plaid and paint that at the top of our ornament, but this one's super simple. Kids could do this one, grandkids could do this one. If you're a teacher, your classroom could do this one because this is super easy. Maybe not with an X-Acto knife, but you could definitely get any excess pieces off with sanding blocks or something like that that is more kid friendly. But here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. And paint my ornament green, and then I got these stickers at Hobby Lobby several years ago, but they have so many to choose from and you can often get them for 50% off. So all I'm going to do is add it to the front, add a cute little bow, and I do add a little bit of white to the top of the hanger part, but here it is styled. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Some cinnamon sticks. Mine came from the Hobby Lobby, but you can get them at Dollar Tree as well. I broke them in half, or really not half, I just broke them into pieces and added them to the ornament. I got these really cute buttons at Hobby Lobby. They're 60% off now and they have so many different shapes, but we're going to add these little trees and I think there's like a little gingerbread man. They look like cookie cutters, and then we're going to add these just plain green and red ones. I also got the gingerbread men cutouts from the Dollar Tree in the Christmas section, and we're going to cover them with some brown paint that's watered down with some water just to give it a stain color. It'll lighten up as it dries. I do go ahead and do both sides of the gingerbread men, and then we're going to use a paint marker to add just the little bits of frosting to the legs, arms, and face. So this is just a really easy process, and then once I get those into the ornament, I took some ribbon. I think this came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to make an awareness bow. We're going to glue that up at the top of our ornament, and then I found this little Mrs. Claus also in the button area at Hobby Lobby. We're going to add her to the top, and then here it is. This one is my favorite of the day. Let me know what you think about this one.
Underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree.
Like a jar gift idea that I saw on Pinterest, but they had green M&Ms in a mason jar, and I thought, oh, we'll use pom-poms and do the same thing. So I added green pom-poms to one of those like mason jar ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I had these green buttons in my stash. I just added them to the front, and then we're using some ribbon to cover up the silver part up on the top, just red ribbon like the elf's or Buddy the elf like he wears in his costume. And then I'm going to go ahead and make another awareness bow, and we're going to glue that into the middle of this piece of ribbon that we already glued to the top. So this is just really easy. We're just going to hot glue those together. It's one of my favorite bows, like if I'm in a hurry or I just have a small project. It works really well for those kind of projects. But we're just going to go ahead and glue it together, and then I always like to add something in the middle for these because it always looks like it's unfinished. So I decided to add a red button here up at the top, but here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one.
It's Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way, but as long as you're around, everything will be okay.
For this one, I just picked up a book at the Dollar Tree, but you can get books at thrift stores or just books that you have that maybe are falling apart, and rather than throwing them away, you want to do something like this. I have a friend who teaches kindergarten who loves Dr. Seuss, and I had some Dr. Seuss books that had seen better days when I taught elementary, and so I did the same thing with those books. They were so colorful, and it's a super fun and customized gift. But all you're going to do is take out some pages. You're going to use your scissors to make some curlicues with your book pages, and then you're just going to stick them into the ornament. So I'm using one of the really large ornaments that they have at Dollar Tree. This one comes just one by itself, but if you get the smaller ones, you can get two for $1.25, which is a really good deal. I have given these away as gifts also for my students one year with a little tag that said go on an adventure. So there's just a lot of ideas that you can do with this. I'm just going to use these little snowflake picks that came off a evergreen pick that I got from Joann's. I'm just going to add it here, and then I'm going to take some Merry Christmas ribbon. I made another awareness bow. I'm just going to glue it right here, and then let me know what you guys think about this one.
Holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out.
Like wood stem pieces at Hobby Lobby in the Christmas section, so they are 60% off. I know Dollar Tree sells something similar. We're going to use a big bulb again from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to add several of these pieces. Now I like to keep the bigger stems because they make really good stems for other things like pumpkins and things like that, but the little ones, I went ahead and put several of those in there. I also had these pine cones left over from like a couple years ago. They're just tiny pine cones. I'm going to go ahead and add those to this as well. I believe that Hobby Lobby also sells some tiny pine cones. And sometimes Dollar Tree will have like a little cinnamon potpourri set that you can also use. So this ribbon was in my stash, and all I'm going to do is cut it in half because it's a little big for a bow at the top of our ornament. I went ahead and dovetailed the ends, and then I'm going to make an awareness bow out of this one section, not both sections, and we're going to glue it up at the top. So, like I said, these are really easy, and this time I used some twine in the middle rather than hot gluing, so it has a little bunched look there instead of just hot glue. But we're just going to glue that right up at the top, and then just for a little bit of extra we're going to take a couple more of those little tiny pine cones, and we're going to glue those in between the middle just to kind of cover up the twine. If you don't have the mini pine cones, this is still adorable. So let me know what you think about this one.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by.
Those little I Spy bags my kids had when they were little, but these buttons, I'm telling you, they're adorable. Again, they're at Hobby Lobby in the Christmas area, but I picked up 2 packs of the nativity ones, and then I also got these shepherds that had camel. I went ahead and put all of them into a big bulb. Now you could also use the mason jar ones here, and you can use a little bit bigger buttons like the Santa and Mrs. Claus would fit in the mason jar one as well. I'm adding this fake snow know mine came from the Dollar Tree. This was just a leftover bag, but they do have it again this year. And then I'm taking this gift tag and I'm going to trace it onto some brown craft paper. That way I can write on the back of the brown craft paper like what we're looking for in the ornament. So I've got Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, camel, the wise men, and then we're going to glue, well, I tied that one to the top, and then I just made a quick awareness bow again to glue up at the top. And then this is really fun because you can shake it up and find the people inside the ornament. Let me know what you think about this one.
It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is
easy. All I did was take a bag of red bells that came from the Dollar Tree and one of these smaller ornaments that you get there that come in the 2-pack, and I just added the bells to the ornament. Then I'm taking my ribbon and I decided to make a shabby bow for this one. So I cut off about 6 pieces and then another piece a little bit longer so that I can tie that one in the middle. I just lay them out crisscross like this. You can use different colors if you want to. If you've watched me for a long time, I use these a lot on my channel because they're my favorite bow. But we're just going to take another piece of ribbon, tie that in the middle, and then we'll just cut off a little bit of the excess that's a little bit longer on one side. But then we already have a middle section taken care of for our bow. And all we're going to do is add that to the top and add a hanger, and then let me know what you think about this one.
In a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything.
Bulbs again. This is the smaller one. We're going to take some green pom-poms. Mine came from Hobby Lobby, and they do go on sale every once in a while, but I'm going to fill up this whole bulb with the green pom-poms. Then I took one red pom-pom, and we're just going to stick it down in there for the Grinch's heart. And then that is it for the inside of this one. We're just going to add the top back on, and I don't know about you guys, but I have a very hard time with those. But once I get it back on, I'm just going to add my ribbon, and then that is it for this one. Let me know what you think about it. Add some white pom-poms. These came from the Dollar Tree. We're just going to fill it up as much as you want. You can have a ton in there or you can have a little bit in there. And then I took some vinyl from the Dollar Tree and I cut it into a triangle, and then I just added it to the front. I didn't add eyes or a mouth for this one, but you definitely could if you want. You could use some black vinyl there. I did take some black ribbon that I had in my stash and I wrapped it around the top a couple times because this ribbon is pretty sheer, but I was going for the illusion of a hat here. And then I added that same ribbon to the hanger part just to give it a little bit more pizzazz, I guess, rather than the silver one. But here it is. Let me know what you think about this one.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you.
This is just scrapbook paper I had in my stash that was just some scraps. I'm going to use the same technique I did earlier with the book page, and I'm just going to cut them into strips and then do the same technique with my scissors. Now my scrapbook paper has white on the other side, but they do sell scrapbook paper that is double-sided. So if you wanted to do this with scrapbook paper that is double-sided, that way you get two looks on the inside, you definitely could do that. Wrapping paper is something else that you can curl with scissors that works well in an ornament like this. But all we did was add 2 different types of scrapbook paper in there. Then I took some of this red sparkly ribbon that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue it here to this metal light bulb bottom part. I'm going to wrap it around several times to cover the light bulb piece. So I want all of the silver part to be not showing. And then I'm going to make another awareness bow just to go up at the top here to give it a little extra, as I like to say. But that is it for this one, and you can customize this one with any kind of scrapbook paper you like. Let me know what you think about it.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow
this project is super simple. We're just going to take some of the silver vinyl and we're going to put it up at the top of the hanger part to give it an ornament feel, and then I traced the ornament out onto some red and black buffalo check vinyl. This was a sheet of vinyl that I found in the regular vinyl section, and I just went ahead and put it on there. These snowflakes came from a pick that I got at Joann's, and I'm just going to glue that into the middle. This is so easy. Everyone can make this ornament. Here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. So this truck with the Christmas tree is going to be our embellishment. So I'm just going to start by painting it with some acrylic paint and chalk paint. I got this ornament at Hobby Lobby. It comes in a package of more than one. I can't remember how many it is. I want to say 4, but I'm not 100% sure. Then I took this baker's twine and I just cut little pieces to resemble a garland. And I'm just going to glue them with hot glue where the little black marks were on the tree. So once I get my ornament ready or my embellishment ready, then I take the big wood circle from our ornament and I covered it with some of that vinyl. Then I went ahead and took my truck and I'm just going to hot glue it into the middle. I also covered those 2 beads with red and black paint. Here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one. The Dollar Tree. It was in a clearance section, so I only paid 50 cents for it. But we're going to take some Mod Podge and we're just going to cover the entire circle. I do go ahead and remove the planter part because at first I had thought that it would make a super cute like lollipop or something like that, but then I went a different direction. So these would make really cute lollipops if you have any of these on hand. You could definitely paint them and wrap them with cellophane. I think that would be adorable. So I laid my wrapping paper on top, put the Mod Podge on, and I found that this foil wrapping paper kind of wrinkles quite a bit, but you are able to smooth it out. You just have to be really careful not to rip the wrapping paper. So then I put the pom-pom garland on and I just used hot glue and glued it all around the outside part of our bulb, and then I took some ribbons that I had on hand. Some of these came from Dollar Tree, some of them came from Hobby Lobby, but we're just going to glue this really cute shabby bow up into the top of our ornament right inside of the pom-pom garland. So once I get that glued on, I decided to add some greenery here. If you don't have greenery, this is super cute by itself, so you could leave it with just the ribbon. But I just had this greenery on hand. I think this came from an Amazon return store. They were little wreaths, but Dollar General has had some frosted picks in the past, and so does Hobby Lobby. So I just cut them into little pieces, and I'm going to glue them on right on top of the bow. Add the cute little berries that came with it, and then here it is styled for you guys. Let me know what you think about this one.
In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring.
I hope you feel totally inspired for Christmas crafts that will be coming up soon. If you want to keep on crafting with me, check out this video next. And as always, wherever you are in your journey is a perfect place to start. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.